XFL fans. Here we are live for the Orlando Guardians versus the San Antonio Brahmas for another, hopefully, fantastic game. We've had some brilliant games in the opening six so far. Hopefully today's game can match that as well. Last week we had the opportunity to see the Brahmas for the first time, who almost held on against the Battlehawks but capitulated right at the end. A different story for, obviously, the Orlando Guardians, who got completely dominated by the Houston Roughnecks. So we'll see who can get back to one-on-one after today's game. So welcome to NFL UK Ops live play-by-play reaction stream of the Orlando Guardians versus San Antonio Brahmas. It's week 2 of the XFL. So let us know where you're watching today's game from and who your XFL team is. All NFL fans are welcome. All XFL fans, American football fans are welcome in the stream. The more chat that we get, the more interaction we get, the better the stream as well. So make sure you come and say hi in the chat and let us know which team you supported in today's game or which team you supported in the XFL. So just to let you know of a video that we've released yesterday. We did a review of the XFL of what we've seen so far. So make sure you please check that video out. The link to that video is in the comments up at the top. So please click on that link when you get an opportunity and let us know in the comments of that video what your thoughts are of what you've seen so far from the XFL. So we've got the Brahmas. They're going to be starting with the ball. So Brahmas 1st and 10. And it's a handoff up the middle. They're already into the Guardians' territory as well. Thank you very much for joining us, JKT. Hope you enjoy the game. Let us know which team you're supporting as well. But thank you very much for joining us. So 2nd and 11 for the Brahmas. It's going to be a pass play from Cone. Fires it out. It's completion. And almost gets the full 11. Just short, about half a yard short. It's going to be up 3rd down. God, we said the Brahmas looked really good last week against the Battlehawks for almost the entire game, but then threw it away right at the end. An amazing comeback from the Battlehawks, but the Brahmas definitely be disappointed with how it finished. So 3rd and 1. And it's a handoff up the middle. Tries to bounce out, but loses 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Brahmas ran the ball pretty well last week. A lot of heavy sets. But the Guardians burst through there and stuffed that 3rd and 1 play. And now they've got a decision to make, the Brahmas. So it'll be 4th and a long 2. And they are going to go for it. It's on the 37-yard line of the Guardians. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass. Time to pass, fires it in, and it's a completion as well. And it's a 1st down. Needed 2, managed to gain 3 on the catch. And so it's a new set down for the Brahmas. A good start for them. So 1st and 10 now. They're on the 34-yard line of the Guardians. Heavy formation again. It's play action pass for Cone. Fires one in. It is a completion. 15 yards. Another good pass play. Working in the run and the play action nice and early, the Brahmas. There you go. They're into the red zone now. They're on the 18-yard line. It looks like encroachment on the defense. It's going to put 5 yards closer to the end zone. Although the referees are huddling now, so maybe it'll be against the offense. We'll see. It was 12 men on defense. So he was going to be given a false start against the Brahmas, but the Guardians had 12 men on defense, so it goes against them. It will put the Brahmas 5 yards closer to the end zone. 1st and 5 now from the 13-yard line. Motion coming across and back out. It's a handoff up the middle. It's Balaj, who has few seasons in the NFL. Managed to gain 2 up the middle. It's going to be up 2nd and 3. He had the most rushing yards last week, even more than some teams. So 2nd and 3. And it's going to be a play action pass, lofted out. And they've worked the ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Brahmas. A great start for them. And continued with, if you scrap off the last minute or so of last week's game against the Battlehawks, the Brahmas pretty much controlled and dominated that game. And they've started this game exactly the same. Jack Cohn played well at quarterback last week. He's 4 for 4 on this drive. Heavy formation, 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. And it's a handoff up the middle. Tries to bounce out, but he's stuffed. Looks like it's going to be a yard or so loss on the play as well. It's a good burst from the linebacker of the Guardians. Yeah, great burst and push and managed to get through the line. So it's going to be 2nd and goal now. The yard further back, so it's 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line for the Brahmas. It's a play action pass. Looking end zone in the corner. And it's caught for the touchdown. And it's a touchdown for the Brahmas. And they take the lead. So how many points are the Brahmas going to go? Obviously, with the new rules of the XFL, they can go for 1, 2, or 3 points, depending on where they decide to go from. 1 point from the 5-yard line, 2 points from the 1 point from the 2-yard line, 2 points from the 5-yard line, or 3 points from the 10-yard line. They're going for 2 points, so they're going from the 5-yard line. Snap back to Coe. He's looking to pass, moves out to his right. Lost the ball to the corner of the end zone, but it can't be brought in. Receiver tried to grab it one-handed, but unable to bring it in. And so the score will remain 6-0 to the Brahmas. But a really good start for them. So a great opening drive from the Brahmas. A good mix of run, pass, play action. Cole looked accurate with the ball. Balaj running the ball well. A slight concern might have to be for the Brahmas is so far 6 games in the XFL, and the team that has scored first in all 6 games has gone on to lose the game. So can the San Antonio Brahmas break that curse in today's game? We'll find out. If you just joined us, welcome to the NFL UK Ops live play-by-play reaction stream of the Orlando Guardians versus San Antonio Brahmas. It's week 2 of the XFL. It's the third game of the week, just one game remaining after this one, which is the Houston Roughnecks and the Arlington Renegades. So 2 undefeated teams will be playing later on. That should be a cracking game if, of course, the Arlington Renegades can get any offense going. They somehow won last week against the Vipers with a comeback in the second half without scoring an offensive touchdown. But we'll see how that game goes. The Roughnecks looked very good against the Guardians last week. So it should be a really good matchup after this one. Of course, in our game today, we've got the Guardians, who were dominated by the Roughnecks last week. And we've got the Brahmas, who really should be 1-0 rather than 0-1. Completely controlled the game against the Battlehawks on offense and on defense. They limited the Battlehawks to just under 65 yards in the first 3 quarters of that game. And we're leading 15-3 going into the final 2 minutes of that game as well. And of course, with the new XFL rules, it allowed the Battlehawks to score a touchdown, convert a 3-point conversion from the 10-yard line. Then, instead of the onside kick, they did the 4th and 15 conversion from their own 25, converted that, worked down the field and scored another touchdown to win the game. But the Brahmas definitely look good. And the crowd last week, out of all the crowds that we saw, it was the biggest crowd, of course, just over 24,000 there. And they seem to have a decent fan base in San Antonio, so hopefully we'll see more of that, and we'll see more of their good play in today's game. And from one discussion about stadiums to another, if anybody watched yesterday's game of the Vipers and the DC Defenders, the Vipers field was a big topic of discussion on Twitter. That's for sure. The field was dry, horrible to run on. There was obviously rain as well. The stadium itself left a lot to be desired compared to some of the others as well. It wasn't the best advert when the XFL's got off to such a good start. It wasn't the best advert. Right, so the kick's up, and it is caught at the 10-yard line and returns up to the 30 and knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So the Guardians will start from the 33-yard line. It is going to be Paxton Lynch, former Broncos quarterback, that comes out to start this game. Didn't have the best of games last week, of course, which resulted in him being benched. Let's see if Paxton Lynch fares any better today. Stand back to him, bobbles the snap, composed himself, lofts down the left sideline, and it's a great catch. Coming back for the ball from the wide receiver. Looked like it was slightly underthrown, but the receiver located it and caught it all the way down to the 30-yard line of the Brahmas. So Paxton Lynch did well to take the ball in off the bobble. It's a handoff up the middle, bounces out to the left-hand side, lowers his shoulder, and the Guardians are all the way down to the 20, but there is a flag. No, it's holding against the offense, so it's going to go 10 yards back and negate that big run from the Guardians. So that's going to set up 1st and 20 now. So 1st and 20. They're back to the 45-yard line now of the Brahmas. Snap back to Paxton Lynch, looking to pass. Under pressure, and is brought down by 2 players on a huge stack. And now, all of a sudden, the Guardians have found themselves back in their own half. tried to step forward and was immediately met by two Brahmas defenders. And after an excellent pass play from Paxton Lynch on first down, they're now 2nd and 27. So back just inside their own half, the Guardians, 2nd and 27. Snap back to Lynch, looking to pass. Fires it out quickly to a wide receiver. Gains only a yard. Can pick up 3rd and 26, 3rd and forever. Hi, Greg. Nice for you to join us. I'm good, thank you. I hope you are as well. Let us know what your thoughts are on this game as well. It's 3rd and 26, just inside their own half for the Guardians. A long, long way to go. Will the Brahmas send pressure? And it's a draw play up the middle. He's got space up to the 40, to the 30. He's converted the first down to the 20. Breaks another tackle. He's all the way down to the 13-yard line. What a play call. Don't know whether it's an excellent play call or a bit of luck as well. It was a stumble right at the start, but then it completely opened up. And the Guardians convert 3rd and 26 and more. But now they're in the red zone. All the way down to the 13-yard line. Snap back to Lynch. The handoff up the middle again. Fights forward for 3 yards. Puts the Guardians inside the 10-yard line. The clock ticking, just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And it's a toss play right. But a good tackle coming up from the linebacker. Looked like it was going to go for the touchdown there with the blockers out in front. But only managed to gain about a yard. It's going to be up 3rd and 5. So 3rd and 5 for the Guardians. Looking to answer back on their first drive. They're on the 8-yard line. Paxton Lynch in the shotgun. Snap back to Paxton Lynch. Time to throw, lost towards the end zone. A wide open receiver. How did he get that wide open? And brings it in for the touchdown. And we've got a tied ball game with the Guardians touchdown. So what started a very good drive for Paxton Lynch with a big completion on the second penalty brought them back to, and they end up converting a 3rd and 26 on the draw play. A couple of completions later, and they're in the end zone from the Paxton Lynch touchdown to Rogers. Absolutely wide open. Interesting to see a replay of that one, but he was absolutely wide open. They're just going to go for 1 extra point as well. So they're lined up at the 2-yard line. Pro formation. It's a handoff up the middle, but completely stuffed 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And that gives us a tied ball game at 6 each. An entertaining start as both teams score on their opening drives of the game. And that's all we want. I mean, from the XFL, from my personal perspective, I'm looking for entertaining games, back and forth, high scoring, and then a good finish at the end. And the XFL, so far, on 4 out of the 6 of the games, have provided that. You know, the first week, it was only the Roughnecks that dominated the Guardians in a big win. And then, obviously, yesterday's game with the Vipers and the DC Defenders. It was 6-0 to the Vipers at half-time in that game as well. But the DC Defenders came back in that second half and ended up winning 18-6. But this game has started off really well, and hopefully it can continue. Okay, if you are just joining us, we released a video yesterday where we reviewed the first week and a bit of the XFL and gave our opinions on our thoughts. We also had a look at ranking each of the 8 XFL teams in our power rankings. So make sure you check that video out. It's on our channel. It's also, the link to that video is in the comments as well. So please go and check that video out and let us know what your thoughts are on the XFL so far. If you're completely new to the XFL today, make sure you check out this video we released before the XFL season started, where we break down everything that you need to know about the XFL, including all the new XFL rules, in just under a 5-minute video. So make sure you go and check our channel out and watch that video as well. And if you haven't yet picked a team, of course, 8 teams to choose from. The Arlington Renegades, DC Defenders, Houston Roughnecks, Orlando Guardians, San Antonio Brahmas, Seattle Sea Dragons, the St. Louis Battlehawks, and Vegas Vipers. So if you've not yet chosen a team, you can go off if you like the logo, if you like the name, or perhaps if you're watching this game, it's your first XFL game. A rule to a sort of a new fan that can't decide what team to pick is go with whichever team wins in the first ever game that you watch. So maybe today's game, you could pick one of these 2 teams. If you are with us, let us know that which team you are supporting. So before the season started, I decided to back the St. Louis Battlehawks. It was a logo that I went with there. And the Battlehawks have got off to a very good start. They're 2-0. But they have made it hard for themselves. It's been 2 very late comebacks they've had to pull off to get to 2-0. First of all, coming back from 15-3 in the final minute against the Brahmas last week. And then a field goal as time expired on Thursday night against the Sea Dragons. But it's been, it's got to be said, the XFL has really lived up to expectations so far. And long may it continue. So we're ready for kickoff. Obviously, the new kickoff rules where the kicker, the players are only 5 yards away, and we're off with a kick. Returned from the 10-yard line. Breaks through, but is brought down at the 25-yard line. And that's where the Brahmas are going to start. As Eli Rogers caught the touchdown, said it was a broken coverage. As to how he managed to get that wide open. He there wasn't a defender within 5 yards of him. Right, 1st and 10 from their own 25 for the Brahmas. It's a play action pass for Cone. Looking down the middle, completion, 15 yards downfield. Still going. Managed to break a tackle before being brought down for a 23-yard gain on 1st down. Good start again for the Browns, but there is a flag. It looks like the Brahmas are going back as well, so it's against them. Unnecessary roughness. You don't often see that on offense. So we'll see what see if we can get a replay on that penalty. So it's the offensive lineman Joseph. But it puts the Brahmas back on 1st and 22 now. So 1st and 22, they're on their own 13-yard line. Snap back to Cone. Fires one over the middle, but it's incomplete. And that'll be 2nd and 22. So 2nd and 22 now from their own 13. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass. Fires one over the middle. It's a completion. Oh, the ball comes out. It's a fumble, but it's dived on by a Brahmas offensive lineman. Very lucky. Clearly a fumble. It was a good hit. The ball clearly popped out, but recovered at the 20-yard line. It's a 3rd and 15 now for the Brahmas. They're on their own 20-yard line, 3rd and 15. Cone in the shotgun. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass, time to pass. Ends up dumping it off only 5 yards downfield, but in a good tackle. They're going to fall 10 yards short. It's going to be a punt most likely for the Brahmas as well. It is. And that's going to set up 4th and 10 and a Brahmas punt. The Brahmas 3.5 points favourites in this game. And the punt's up. It's caught at the 25-yard line, returnable up the right sideline. Knocked out of bounds around the 40. It's a good starting field position for the Guardians. So a good stand for the Guardians on defense. What can they do on offense? Looking to drive down the field and take the lead for the first time in this game. As I said, a very interesting stat in the first 6 games of the XFL. The team to score first have gone on to lose in every game so far. It was the Brahmas, of course, that scored first in this one. So 1st and 10, Paxton Lynch from their own 41-yard line, empty backfield, fires out to the receiver. It's an incomplete pass. Looking for Jamil out wide. So that brings up 2nd and 10. Snap back to Lynch. It's a handoff. Looking for space out wide. He's not going to find any. And just about makes it back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be up 3rd and 10. So 3rd and 10. They're on their own 41-yard line, the Guardians. Snap back to Paxton Lynch, looking to pass. Fires out left. Oh, and the receiver fell over. It was almost a diving interception, but it was just out of reach. And that's going to bring a punt for the Guardians, 3 and out. So we've got back-to-back punts now. Both teams went down and scored a touchdown on the first drives. Now back-to-back punts. The punt's up. Caught at the 10-yard line. Breaks a tackle at 20 and is eventually brought down around the 26-yard line. A decent return. That's where the Brahmas are going to start off. So it's a triple header of XFL games next weekend. Starting off with the Battle Hawks, so that'll be good. So first and 10 for the Brahmas. On their own 28-yard line, it's a handoff up the middle, but bursting through is Lee from the Guardians defence and brings Ballage down for a 2-yard loss. Cheers, Eric. Thank you very much for dropping in. And just to let you know, Eric, your helmet's on the way and it should be with you on Tuesday. Second 11. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass, fires it out to the receiver who's caught it right at the sticks. That's going to be a first down for the Brahmas, and it's the end of the first quarter as well. So what seems to have gone in a blink of an eye, the first quarter. We've got a tie ball game, 6 each. The Brahmas went down the field on the opening possession with a touchdown. The Guardians matched that on their first possession. On that drive as well, converted a 3rd and 26 on a draw play before finding it. Baxter Lynch found Eli Rogers in the back of the end zone, completely uncovered. The teams then traded 3 and outs, and now the Brahmas got the ball back. I've got the ball on around their own 40-yard line to start the second quarter. So I've got game break. Let us know what your thoughts are on the XFL so far. Are you a fan? What do you like about it? What's good about it? Or is there anything that you're not so keen on? I mean, from what we've seen so far, for me personally, it's been very good. It's been entertaining. It's provided excitement at the end of the games. The new rules have been good. Just a couple of points that were not so good. I mean, obviously the field for the Vipers yesterday made the XFL look a bit cheap. And then in terms of the rules, the one rule that I think I would change is the 1 foot rule. Obviously, the XFL have gone with the college rules of a receiver only has to have 1 foot in bounds when catching the ball rather than 2 like in the NFL. I'd like to see 2 feet. Just heightens that level of skill. But apart from that, I really like the other rules. The kickoff rules are really good. It makes more interest on the kickoffs because the teams are returning the kickoffs because they don't want to whack it into the end zone and a touchback. It's less collisions as well. The extra points are good. And as we saw in the Battlehawks game last week, it proved very important for their win against the Brahmas last weekend as well. They're going through it on 4th and 15 from your own 25-yard line as well. Offers something else up. So really, I'm impressed so far with what we've seen. So here we go, just about to start the second quarter. The Brahmas have got the ball. 6-6 scoreline. It's 1st and 10. They're on their own 39-yard line. Heavy formation. Toss play right. Tries to bounce out to the side. Going nowhere, though. Really well played by that Guardians defense. Read it all the way. It looks at least a yard loss. Could be 2 yard loss on that play. It's a 2nd and 12. On their own 37. Cohen's got 2 running backs, one either side of him, in the shotgun. Snap back to him. It's going to be a pass play. It's 2 on the running backs, but it's over his head. And incomplete, sets up 3rd and 12. So say that both of these teams drove down the field on the first drives for touchdowns. They found it difficult since. We could have our 3rd punt in a row if the Brahmas are unable to convert on 3rd and 12. So 3rd and 12 on their own 37-yard line. Cohen in the shotgun. Receivers spread out. Snap back to him, looking to pass. Fires down the right sideline, but it's over the heads of the receiver. Falls incomplete, and it is going to be another Brahmas punt. So that sets up 4th and 12. Looked like he had a receiver open down the right sideline, but overthrew it. And it is going to be a Brahmas punt. So it's like technical difficulty there. Lions have got the ball. And the Lions are 2nd and 8. They're on their own 27-yard line. It's a pass play from Paxton Lynch. Fires out to the receiver. Looks like he gains 3 or 4 yards. There is a flag, though. So it's against the offense. It's going to put them 5 yards further back. This is a legal formation. So 2nd 13, snap back to Paxton Lynch. Fires out wide to receiver for 3-yard pass play. It's going to be 3rd and long. And unless the Guardians come up with something creative here, we're going to have 4 punts in a row. The clock, of course, continues to run, as it does in the XFL, even on incomplete passes or stepping out of bounds. It's 3rd and 9. Snap back to Paxton Lynch. Steps forward. Sets off running. And lowers his shoulder and gains the first down, but there is a flag. He picks up about 12 yards on the run. Didn't look like he really wanted to run. Once he got past the line of scrimmage, he had no other choice. Let's see what the penalty is. Looks like offsetting penalties. So we can replay that third down after all that. So it's 3rd and 9 again on the replay from their own 26-yard line. Looking to keep this drive alive, the Guardians. Trips right now. All right, it's a false start as well. It's going to put them 5 yards further back. So it's a 5-yard penalty against the Guardians. It's now 3rd and 14 from their own 21-yard line. Paxton Lynch in the shotgun. It's snapped back to. It's a draw play again. Doesn't work as well as it did on that first drive. They only pick up 5, so it's going to be another punt. This time for the Guardians. They used that draw play to perfection on that first drive, picking up a 3rd and 26. But the Brahmas were ready for it on that occasion. So after both teams traded touchdowns on their first drives, there's been 2 punts apiece since then. So here we go. The punt bounces at the 35. It's scooped up at the 30. And return breaks a tackle. And eventually pushed out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And that's where the Brahmas are going to start their next possession. We can see if we can break this streak of punts that we've had so far. So again, if you just joined us, this is the NFL UK Ops Live play-by-play reaction stream of the Orlando Guardians versus San Antonio Brahmas. It's week 2 of the XFL. We've had a fantastic opening 6 games, and this game is doing very well as well. Trading opening scores, and then we had a few punts, but it's a tight game, and that's exactly what we want. We want it going right down to the 4th quarter, right to the end. We've had that. It's looking like it's going that way so far. What we're looking obviously forward to later on, we've got the Houston Roughnecks against the Arlington Renegades, 2 of the more favoured teams heading into the XFL this season. Both undefeated after wins over the Guardians for the Roughnecks last week. The Renegades beat the Vipers. But we'll see what that brings. But a really good start for the XFL. And next week, there'll be a triple header on Sunday. We'll have to consider possibly doing a back-to-back, I think. Our time in the UK, the Battlehawks are playing at 6 o'clock with another game straight after that at 9 o'clock our time in the UK. So I might do back-to-back streams of that. So make sure, if you are with us now, make sure you join us for those streams as well. Let us know what your thoughts are on the XFL so far. Have you enjoyed what you've seen? What have you been your favourite aspect of the XFL so far? Or is there anything that you don't like of what you've seen so far? So let us know in the comments. So just over 10 minutes left in the first half. We've got a 6-6 scoreline. The Brahmas have the ball back. That's the scene, right? Talking to the coach of the Guardians, who said the right tackle asked the referee if he was on the line. The referee apparently said yes and then threw a flag on him. That doesn't seem right. Anyway, 1st and 10 for the Brahmas. On their own 34-yard line, it's a play-action pass for Cohn. Looking downfield. He's got a receiver, but he's hit hard and can't hold on to the ball. And it's a safety, Elam. Of course, used to be with the Ravens, Matt Elam. A good hit in the back. Jars the ball loose. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation again for Cohn. It will be a pass play. Under pressure. Starts scrambling around. Eventually brought down on the sack. Looks like he's lost 5 or 6 yards on that now as well. And that's Lee again. Made a couple of splash plays in this game so far. And that's with 3rd and 19 now for the Brahmas. Oh, the ball's dropped on the snap, but picked up by the running back, who barrels his way forward for about 4 yards before being brought down. And it looks like we are going to have a Brahmas punt. That's the 5th punt in a row now. So 4th and 13 for the Brahmas, who, just like the Guardians, have struggled to get anything going on offense after the first drive. So we go with the punt. The punt is up. A decent punt as well. Caught at the 16-yard line. And tackled around the 23-24-yard line of the Guardians. And that's where they'll start their next possession. And hopefully we'll break this run of punts that we've had so far. And we've got a new quarterback in, DeAndre Francois, coming in to replace Paxton Lynch. An interesting decision. To use the QB3 as well. After the QB2 came in last week for the Guardians and threw 2 interceptions himself after Paxton Lynch had been benched. So here we go. What can Francois do? It's 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. There's a play-action pass. Under pressure. Breaks a tackle. Scrambles out to his left. Sets off running. And managed to gain about 4 yards on that play. Did well to avoid the sack. Looks to be a mobile quarterback. It's 2nd and 6. It's a handoff up the middle. Oh, it's close to a first down. Might be about a yard short. He's going to bring bring up third down, 3rd and 1. It's another handoff up the middle. And they do gain it. They get 2 yards on that play. And that's a 1st and 10 for the Guardians now. Clock ticking, just under 7 minutes left in the half. So 1st and 10 now for the Guardians on their own 35. Scramble out to the right. There was a QB keeper out to the right. Trying to get blockers out in front. Managed to gain 3 yards. A very different offense we're seeing from the Guardians now. Not something you would see from Paxton Lynch-led offense. Obviously trying a few different things out early in this season. And why not? As we say, for the DC defenders of what we've seen so far, they've looked most potent on offense when they've had Derek King in at quarterback rather than Tamu. But 2nd and 8, snap back to Francois, looking to pass. Dumps it off to the running back, who managed to gain about a yard. There is a flag. A helmet seemed to fly. The 1st and 10 for the Guardians. On their 42-yard line. So now back to Francois. Fires one in, but off target. So he did have his receiver open about 12 yards downfield, but unable to connect. Interesting interview with Paxton Lynch there. Obviously taken out and replaced at the moment. He said that they plan to use 2 quarterbacks today. Well, who knows? But hard to get a mic shoved in your face after you've just been taken out of the game. Trying to put a positive spin on it. How can you see the defense from the sideline after you've been taken out of the game? We've got a false start on 2nd and 10, so it's going to be 2nd and 15 now. We've seen a couple of those where the players have had mic shoved in the face at the moment of some sort of emotion. It's not sure I agree with that, but there you go. We've got a handoff to the Guardians. So again, if you just joined us, let us know who your XFL team is, who you're backing in this game. Are you a Guardians or Brahmas fan if you've perhaps not chosen a team yet? This could be the opportunity to do so. Sort of the rules coming into the NFL, especially from over in the UK, if you've just joining and watching the NFL, is to pick a team based on who wins the game that you first watch. So this could be an opportunity to pick either the Guardians or Brahmas, depending on who comes out on top. We've got a close game so far, 6 apiece in this game. If you're not sure on any of the new rules of the XFL as well, make sure you check this video out on our channel. It explains all of the new rules of the XFL. So make sure you go to our channel, check that video out. Give us a comment. Make sure, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, so you don't miss out on any of our NFL or XFL content as well. And then, of course, our video released yesterday, we had a look at the XFL's first week in a bit, and gave our thoughts on what we liked and what we disliked about the XFL, and also gave our power rankings as well of the 8 teams in the XFL. So make sure you check that video out. We've put the link to that video as well in the comments. So make sure you check that video out as well. So the Guardians were unable to convert, and the Brahmas got the ball back on their own 23-yard line. Just over 3 minutes left in the first half. It's a toss play left. Under immediate pressure, as soon as he caught the ball, the running back, and brought down for a 3-yard loss. It's got to be said, with 5-yard loss even. It's got to be said, after that first drive for both teams, and both teams went down and scored touchdowns on their first drives, the defenses have really stepped up and limited the opportunities. So the 2nd and 15 for the Brahmas. They're on their own 18-yard line. Snap back to Cone. Fires one out. Oh, what a brilliant catch, one-handed, down the right sideline from Mack. Well, it looked like it was too high. Stuck out a hand. Sort of bobbled it and brought it in. Oh, he's on the deflection. Excellent concentration. Brings it in. Takes it down the right sideline and gains close to 15 yards. So so it's 1st and 10 for Cone. Scrambles out to his left, fires one short to his receiver, who managed to catch it in, bring it in for a 4-yard gain. So play clock is running down. This might take us to a 2-minute warning. It does. It does take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Brahmas at 2nd and 6 on their own 41-yard line. Down at the 2-minute warning. Obviously, the new rules again with the XFL. Inside 2 minutes, if you gain a first down, then the clock does stop up until the ball being spotted and the referee blowing the whistle. So it's like an sort of mid-timeout opportunity to be able to get down the field and reset yourself with the clock stopped. Which sets up entertaining final 2 minutes in the first half and, of course, in the second half as well. So both teams got timeouts to play with as well. And a really an interesting game. We've had, obviously, the Brahmas touchdown on the first drive, matched by the Guardians touchdown. Both teams unable to convert the extra points. And then a really strong defensive stand from both teams. But we've got a 6-6 scoreline. The Brahmas have the ball just around their own 40-yard line, and an opportunity to try and go down the field and take the lead before half-time. But we're at the 2-minute warning, and the game seems to be absolutely flying by. Nearly only just over an hour of game time, and we're nearly at half time. I mean, the XFL, of course, obviously wanted to bring in a much faster paced play to the game. Didn't want as many stoppages, wanted to keep that clock going. We'll see if the Brahmas are able to retake the lead in this one. An interesting stat of course, we mentioned earlier, is the team that have scored first in all 6 games that have been played in the XFL so far have then gone on to lose the game. The Brahmas were the team to score first in this one, so we'll see if they're able to break the curse, or will the Guardians come back and win this game and continue that run of teams that score first. So just about ready to start the next play for the Brahmas. So it's 2nd and 6 from the 41-yard line. The Brahmas have all 3 timeouts, as do the Guardians as well. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass. Fires one out to the receiver. Dives forward after gaining the first down. And just into Guardians territory as well. So 1st and 10. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass again. Fires quickly out to receiver, who's unable to bring it in on the left sideline. A poor drop, that one. Should have been an easy 5-yard completion. So the Brahmas now at 2nd and 10. So 2nd 10 for the Brahmas. Just inside Guardians territory. Snap back to Cone. Fires over the middle, but over the heads of his receiver. There is a flag. Be interested to see if that's against the defense. It looked like a defender jumped before the snap. It might be offside. Let's have a look. It is offsides. So it's a 5-yard advantage to the Brahmas. So 2nd and 5 now. On the 46-yard line of the Guardians. It's trips left for the Brahmas. Motion coming across to the right from receiver. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass. Fires out down the left sideline. Just out of reach of the receiver, who looked like really good coverage. That's going to set up 3rd and 5 now. So 3rd and 5. So the Brahmas take a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. It's just over a minute and a half left on the game clock of this half. So can the Brahmas keep this drive alive? They're 3rd and 5. Looking to try and retake the lead just before half-time. Still got 2 timeouts remaining as well. It's got a shotgun formation. Motion out to the left. We've now got trips to the left. Snap back to Cone. But he scrambles out to his right. He's under pressure. Managed to evade that and lost the ball out of bounds. Great stand by the Guardians. And a big decision for the Brahmas now at 4th and 5. There's a flag, though. It's unnecessary roughness on 56. I'm not sure I agree with that. It was a big hit, but I guess if you're Tom Brady, you're getting that call every time. But Cone got it. 1st and 10 now from the 29-yard line. It's trips left. Shotgun formation. Snap back to Cone, looking to pass. Fires out to the receiver. It's caught and dives forwards. Looks like he's got just enough for the first down as well. That'll put them in the red zone. Which means the clock stopped until the ball had been spotted. It's been spotted now. So on the 19-yard line, snap back to Cone. Fires another one in. Oh, it should have been intercepted. Well read by the Guardians defender. Steps in front, and if he'd have caught it, it'd have been to the house as well. He had all the momentum going the other way. Was it Elam? It was. It was Matt Elam, the former Raven safety. That if he'd have caught that, he'd have been gone. So 1 minute and 6 seconds left. The play clock has run down to 0, so I assume the Brahmas will have called a timeout. They do. The Brahmas have called a timeout. Just 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Looking to work themselves into at least into field goal range to take the lead before half time. So next weekend, triple header on Sunday, Battlehawks versus Defenders, and then Guardians versus Renegades, Brahmas versus Roughnecks. So 2nd and 10. They're on the 19-yard line of the Guardians. It's trips right for the Brahmas. Snap back to Cone. He's looking to pass. Fires towards the end zone. It looks like it's brought in for the touchdown for the Brahmas. And the Brahmas take the lead just before half-time. It's Mack that's brought it in for the touchdown. Great back shoulder throw. And a great play call. So the Brahmas take the lead 12-6 just before half-time. And now they have the opportunity to add to that lead as well. Depending on where they go for this extra point, of course. If you just join us and you're not sure of the rules, the extra points. If they go from the 2-yard line, they'll gain 1 extra points if they convert it. 2 points from the 5-yard line, or 3 points from the 10-yard line. So, Mark, go Brahmas. Thank you very much for joining us, Mark. Obviously, a Brahmas fan. If let us know, are you also a Steelers fan in the NFL, or do you support somebody else? I know a lot of Steelers fans have gone with Hines Ward and going with the Brahmas, but let us know which NFL team you support as well. But thank you very much for joining us. The Brahmas get the 1-point conversion as well. So now take the lead to 13-6 just before half-time. There's just over a minute left. The Guardians do have all 3 timeouts. Got time to work with before half-time to try and get down the field, score some points. So Hines Ward's happy, headed into the final minute or so. Guardians have the ball on their own 31-yard line after that return. That back to Lynch, who's back in the game, fires it to his receiver, breaks a couple of tackles, fights forward. Looks like he's about a yard short, maybe half a yard short of the line to gain. So the clock would have kept going, but the Guardians call a timeout, I believe. No, he got out of bounds. Got out of bounds to stop the clock. No, they gave him the first down. Couldn't decide, couldn't make the mind up. 1st and 10. Start back to Lynch. So run up the middle. Oh, he managed to gain about 2 yards. The clock is going to carry on running. The Guardians have all 3 timeouts. Precious seconds ticking off the clock. Snap back to Paxton Lynch, looking to pass. Time to pass, fires over the middle. It's incomplete. It should have been brought in from the receiver, but wasn't. That's going to set up 3rd and 7. 23 seconds left. The Guardians have all 3 timeouts. So now back to Lynch, looking to pass. Got time to pass, scrambles out to his right. He's got time to move with the ball, takes off and slides after gaining the first down. And the Guardians call the first time out. They've got 16 seconds left on the play clock. We're going to need at least one chunk play to get into field goal range before half time. 16 seconds left. So it's 1st and 10 for the Guardians. Just inside Brahmas territory. Need at least 15 to 20 yards to attempt a field goal. Just 16 seconds left. Snap back to Paxton Lynch. Pressure from the Brahmas. Fires to the receiver and brought in for a 1st down. A 10-yard gain. And the next is a 2nd timeout for the Guardians. So it's been interesting on the next play call. Very eye-opening when you hear the play calls coming in. When hearing what the coaches are saying to the players. So it's 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Guardians. It's trips right. Snap back to Paxton Lynch. It's a draw play up the middle, but it's a 3-yard loss, 2-yard loss. And now that's a problem. There's only 6 seconds left. What do you do here now? You have got an extra timeout left. It's a long kick from here. They are going to send out the kicker. It's a long kick from here. So 56-yard attempt. There's not many NFL kickers that would make this kick at this point, but it's dead center. 56-yard attempt. Good snap and hold. It is straight down the middle. It's got the leg. It's not got the leg. It's not got the leg to make it. So going into halftime, the score is Brahmas 13, Guardian 6. And that all came off that draw play they tried to run on the play before. They didn't quite get it. Well, you lost yardage. You made the kick even harder. Right, let's go into the booth, see if there's any time left on the clock. There might be 1 second left, which is... Oh, the Brahmas do have to run a play, but they are going to kneel by the looks of it anyway. So we'll call it half-time anyway. They do take the knee, and we do have half-time. So going to half-time, the Brahmas lead 13-6. Both teams scored touchdowns on their opening drives. The Brahmas first, then the Guardians. Then traded punts back and forth, all the way until the Brahmas got the ball before the 2-minute warning. Went down and scored a touchdown. A 1-point extra point conversion as well. The Guardians managed to work down the field themselves, but then hurt themselves as well with clock management, really. Attempted a 56-yard field goal that looked like it was heading in the right direction, but didn't have the leg. And means the Brahmas going 13-6 up. The Guardians will get the ball first in the second half, looking to see if they can continue that hoodoo that is over the teams at the moment that score first in the XFL. The team that score first in the team that have scored first in the first 6 games of the XFL have gone on to lose the game. It was the Brahmas that scored first in this one. So the Guardians will be hoping that that continues. We're going to take a short break while we've got half time. And what better than to go and check out this video here during half time, where we review the XFL so far. We give our power rankings of the 8 teams as well. The link to that's in the comments, so why not take this 10 minutes to go and check out that video and let us know what your thoughts are of the XFL. And we'll see you in just under 10 minutes' time. So in the third quarter, we've got a pass play incomplete on 3rd and 3 for the Guardians. It's going to be up 4th and 3 now. It's going to be a punt for the Guardians. Returnable from the 14-yard line. Up the middle, it's tackled down around the 25. And that's where the Brahmas are going to start off. The Brahmas, who scored just before half-time, they're looking to see if they can extend their lead. So 1st and 10 for Cone. It's a handoff up the middle. Managed to gain about a yard on the ground. There's Ballard. So 2nd and 9 for the for the Brahmas. They're on their own 26-yard line. It's going to be a pass play for Cone. Fires over the middle. It's a completion. Looks like it gains about 6 yards through the air. To set up 3rd and 3. So again, shotgun formation for Cone. On 3rd and 3. It converted. It's 1st and 10 now for the Brahmas. It's a handoff up the middle. Breaks a couple of tackles, and that's a good 9-yard run into Guardians territory now for the Brahmas. Looking to see if they can add to their lead. So 2nd and 1 now from the Guardians' 43-yard line. Snap back to Cohen. It's a keeper from Cohen who sets off running and dives forward at the 30-yard line. The Brahmas are into field goal range already. A good first drive in the second half, continuing where they left off at the end of the first. But can they add more points? 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Cohen in the shotgun. Snap back to him. It's a handoff up the middle. Babbles forward, gains about 4 yards on the ground. So it's 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. It's a handoff again. Only gains a yard this time on the ground. Set up 3rd down and 4. So 3rd and 4 for the Brahmas. Snap back to Cohen. Lost a pass down the left sideline. It's brought in and it looks like it's in for the touchdown for the Brahmas. What a throw and what a catch and adjustment from the receiver there. And it's a Brahmas touchdown. And they make it a 2-score game. Great pass from Cohen. An excellent adjustment from the receiver. Back shoulder pass. And into the end zone. And how many points are the Brahmas going to go for? Extra on top. It's going to go for 1 extra point from the 2-yard line. Heavy formation. It's play action pass. Cole moves out, slings it. He's got a wide open receiver. And the extra point is good. Caught by Selder in the back of the end zone. And now the Brahmas lead 20-6 against the Guardians. The Guardians have got a lot of work to do from here. Otherwise, it could be another heavy defeat like last week against the Houston Roughnecks. So a great first drive for the Brahmas in the second half. All the way down the field. On the 3rd down, back shoulder pass towards the end zone, brought in. And then the extra points. And the Brahmas take a 20-6 lead over the Guardians. And a big hill to climb now for the Guardians to get back into this game. 14 points now. So if you just joined us, we're watching the XFL Week 2 game between the Orlando Guardians and the San Antonio Brahmas. Both teams 0-1 after differing first games in the week in the XFL. The Guardians were dismantled really by the Houston Roughnecks. However, the Brahmas were in complete control against the Battle Hawks last week. They sort of threw it away in the last minute or so. The Brahmas looked much better in this game. And yet you'd expect that the Brahmas in control here wouldn't let it slip 2 weeks in a row. Gave up a 12-point advantage last week in the final minute. They now hold a 14-point advantage against the Guardians. It'd be interesting to see for the guys who comes out at quarterback for them in the second half as well. Is it going to be Paxton Lynch? Or are they going to go with the QB3 Francois, who's a bit more mobile? We'll have to wait and see. Just showing on the TV as well some nice merchandise for the XFL. Worth checking out. So we're ready for the kickoff. And the kick is up. Caught at the 11-yard line and returnable for the Guardians. Tripped up and falls down around the 29-yard line. And the Guardians are desperate to get something going on this drive now. And it's Paxton Lynch, steps forward, fires downfield, but can't connect with the receiver. Looking for Peyton. Did well, Lynch, originally to step out, but unable to connect through behind the receiver who's diving, trying to catch the ball. He's going to set up 2nd and 10. It's an empty backfield for Paxton Lynch this time. So 2nd and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Snap back to Lynch. Under pressure. Fires downfield over the head of a wide-open receiver. That is a huge miss. And the Orlando Guardians fans are not happy with what they see. And I wouldn't be happy with what I saw. Had a receiver 15 yards downfield, wide open, and threw over his head. Sets up a 3rd and 10 now. And really, it's a must for the Guardians if they're going to get back into this game. Snap back to Lynch. Steps forward. He's under pressure and he's brought down on the sack for a 5-yard loss. And the Brahmas are completely dominating this game on offense and defense now. And Mark's back saying my Brahmas need this win. The Brahmas have looked really good, Mark. I've got to say that in the first week, really should have had a win against the Battlehawks. There's a capitulation in that final minute. And in this game, we've got a block punt. Could be scooped up for the... But it is recovered. It is recovered by the Brahmas. And, oh, dear. It gets worse and worse for the Guardians. It's been blocked and recovered at the 8-yard line. Oh, dear. But, Mark, you've got to be happy. You've got to be happy with what you've seen. The Brahmas have looked fantastic in the first game. Have come to life again in the second game. The defense has looked very strong. Special teams have just stepped up. And you've got to be happy. Mark's happy. Let's go. A great start to this second half and an opportunity now to really pull away in this game. So 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. It's Coe with the ball, dumps it off short. And he stirs around and it looks like he's in for the end zone. And it is a Brahmas touchdown before I can even get the scoreboard back on. It's a Brahmas touchdown. It's 26-6. And now it's just going from bad to worse for the Guardians now. Now which of the Brahmas going to go for the extra point? So we've got the booth reviewing this. Looked to me like he turned around and broke the plane. So he didn't get in. He's half a yard short. So Mark said the Battlehawks got lucky last week. The Battlehawks did nothing. And I'm a now acclaimed Battlehawks fan. They did nothing all that game. And then in that last minute, AJ McCarron all of a sudden came to life and started hitting receivers left, right, and centre. And then that chain of events that led to them winning that game. I mean, I was calling that game last week. And I said they're going to score a touchdown, 3-point conversion, convert the 4th and 15, and then they're going to kick a field goal to tie the game. They didn't. They scored a touchdown and won it. But A great finish. So, second and goal from the half-yard line. It's a handoff up the middle. And he is into the end zone this time. No doubts about it. And that this time is a San Antonio Brahmas touchdown. 26-6. And a long, long way back for the Guardians from here. The Brahmas just going to go for one extra point from the 2-yard line. I say it's a handoff up the middle. And it is going to be the extra point converted. Keeps his legs churning into the end zone. And the Brahmas now lead 27-6. It's hard to see how the Guardians come back into this one. I can see the Guardians pulling Paxton Lynch again. I think Paxton Lynch is surely going to get benched again. Before needing to punt, he missed a wide open receiver 15 yards downfield. And I think when you're 21 points down, I think you put Francois back in and try and create something either on the ground, through the air as well. But a long, long way back. 21 points, even in XFL rules, is still a 3-score game as well. The Guardians are going to have to put something together on this drive or this game is over. As Mark said, it's a touchdown this time. Extra point as well. A domination for the Brahmas now. So no, it's early to say, but who do you think will play the championship game? It is very early. The Roughnecks look good. They were playing the Guardians, who now the Brahmas are making look very mediocre as well. See, if it's got to be a game, I assume it's got to be a North and a South team in the championship game. So if he's looking at best teams there, I think it's Roughneck. I think the Roughnecks look very good. Obviously, got a fantastic head coach in Wade Phillips as well. So I'll go with the Roughnecks, and then the Brahmas have looked good. It's tough to call between the Brahmas, Renegades, and of course the Battlehawks as well. Hopefully, from my perspective, hopefully it's the Battlehawks. But I think it could be any of those three teams. The Renegades were lucky last week that Perez decided to start turning the ball over for the Vipers. But we'll give it a toss-up with Roughnecks against either the Brahmas or Battlehawks. Let us know, Mark, what do you think? So the kick's up, it's returnable. Return to the 35-yard line, but there is a flag as well. Things go from bad to worse for the Guardians as holding penalty. And no surprise, as I predicted, Francois steps out for the Guardians on offense at quarterback. Paxton Lynch, after that first drive, has been pretty poor. So the 1st and 10 now, the Guardians from their own 10-yard line. Quick pass to the receiver, gains about 5 yards through the air. As Mark was just asking about who we predict to be in the championship game, make sure you check out this video. We released it yesterday with our power rankings. That sort of gives a clue to our thinking as well. But let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. So 2nd and 5. Step back to Francois. It's a handoff again up the middle. Managed to gain about 2 to 3 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. And a must conversion, really, for the Guardians now. Yeah, so Mark's going with the Brahmas as well. I'll come back to that in a second. It's a shotgun formation for the Guardians and a must get 3rd and 4th. Francois steps back. Time to throw. Lofted pass. Unable to connect, but there is a flag. Had all day to throw, Francois there. But it was pass interference against the defense. So it'll be a 1st down. Yeah, so Mark's going with the Brahmas, but if they don't make it, they're thinking of Roughnecks and the Battlehawks. Hopefully so from our perspective. But from my perspective anyway, as a now proclaimed Battlehawks fan. So it's a throw from Francois, but it's just in front of the receiver. So it's been up 2nd and 10. But it'd be an interesting game later on. The Renegades game against the Roughnecks. So give us an idea of what the Renegades actually are. Not very good on offense last week. Relied completely on the defense to get the win against the Vipers. 2nd and 10. Snap back to Francois. Throws it into the ground. It's been up 3rd and 10. But that's Roughnecks and DC Defenders will be a very interesting game when that happens as well. So 3rd and 10. Shotgun formation from the 036. Snap back to Francois. Got time. Scrambles forward. Sets off. Never going to make it. Dives forward after a 4-yard gain. And the Guardian's going to have to punt again. And the crowd are not happy with what they're seeing, and rightly so. So 4th and 6 from the 040. It's going to be a punt. The punt is up. They get the punt off. Looks like it might be running into the kicker. There is a flag. Returnable from the 10-yard line. Brought down at the 15. There is a flag. This could extend the play. Extend the drive if this is a roughing the kicker penalty. Let's see. It is a roughing the kicker. So an extra lifeline for the Guardians. Yeah, you can't hit the plant leg of a punter. So a 15-yard penalty. So they're now actually into Brahmas territory. Shotgun formation for Francois. Snap back to him. Under pressure. Tries to get out of the sack. Does get out of the sack. An excellent play for about 4 yards from Francois. Had a Brahmas defender all over him and somehow managed to stiff arm him away and advance for 4 yards. They need a lot more than that in this game if they're going to come back. They have to score points on this drive. Shotgun formation. There's a handoff up the middle. Managed to gain only 2 yards on the ground. It's coming up 3rd down. It's 4 down territory at the end of the day here for the Guardians. Now they're into Brahmas territory. They need to be scoring points, that's for sure. So it's trips left for the Guardians. Shotgun formation. 3rd and 4 from the 39-yard line. What we're going to get here is a false start. Oh, killer for the Guardians. Head coach Buckley is going he's going crazy on the sideline. Can't believe what he's seeing. Now made it 5 yards harder for themselves now, the Guardians. So it's 3rd and 9 from the 44-yard line. Snap back to Francois. He's got time to throw. Throws it deep over. He's got a wide receiver open. Oh, he can't bring it in on the dive, but there is a flag. Should have been a touchdown, really. But unable to bring it in. He had the receiver. It was a great throw. The receiver beat the defender deep for the touchdown. You know, I'm not sure that's pass interference. Oh, he got there just too early. Half a second too early. I think it was pass interference, just half a yard too early. So the Guardians get the ball at the 2-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal. Again, here we go. I haven't got faith that the Guardians are going to come back. If that's what you're worried about, Mark, this isn't AJ McCarron. There's a flag on 1st and goal. It's a false start. Oh dear. You clearly see what head coach Buckley for the Guardians is thinking at the minute. So it's 1st and goal. It's now back to the 7-yard line for the Guardians. Snap back to Francois. He's under pressure. Gets the ball out. Finds the receiver. Nice to gain 2 yards on the pass play. It's going up 3rd and goal. Sorry, 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Yeah, I keep having trouble with my stream as well. It's been all right in the second half. I don't want to jinx it, but it's been all right in the second half, Mark. But the the Guardians on the 5-yard line, second and goal, trying to get back into this game. Brahmas send pressure, gets the ball out, but it's behind the receiver, falling backwards. Incomplete. Francois holding his wrist. There's a Brahmas defender down, so it has stopped the clock. Just 7 seconds left in the third quarter. Here we go. Third and goal from the 4-yard line now for the Guardians. Need to get into the end zone. It's 4-down territory, really. When you get this far down, it's trips left. But the third quarter comes to an end before we do get that play. That takes us into the fourth quarter. Brahmas absolutely dominating that third quarter. Lead 27-6. But the Guardians have a glimmer of hope if they can get into the end zone here and get a point or possibly 3 on the extra points to try and set up a tense finale in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a short break. We're back in a second. So we're back and ready. Third and goal. A big play coming up. Jondre Francois, the QB3 in the shotgun. Trips left for the Guardians. Snap back to him. Under pressure, lofts towards the back of the end zone. Oh, and almost brought in. There is a flag, though. This could be pass interference. And it is going to be pass interference defense. The ball will be going down to the 1 yard line, first and goal for the Guardians. An opportunity to punch it in and keep this game alive. So we've got a Brahmas challenge. Of course, the new XFL rules, the coaches get one challenge where they can challenge any single play or flag that they wish. So they're challenging whether this is pass interference. Remember, when there is a challenge, there has to be clear and undeniable evidence to overturn it. I don't think that's a penalty. You know, Texan football, Houston. Thank you very much for joining us. Lakers won. So there's no passive. That's correct. That was the correct call. Absolutely the correct call. It's going to take it to a 4th and 4. And a must get for the Guardians. Whatever they draw up here, they need to get it. Snap back to it. It's a run play on 4th and 4. Oh, and he gets it. What a run. What a run by the running back. It looked like he was going to get stopped, but it is a Guardians touchdown. Oh, no, it's holding. It's holding. We're all premature on the celebrations for the Guardians there. It was holding on the run play. It was a needless hold as well. It was not close enough to the play. So empty backfield from the 10-yard line, fires towards the end zone. And they get the flag in the end zone. Oh, after all of that, the Guardians are going to get the ball down at the 1 yard line. And San Antonio can't challenge that one. I think maybe that rule needs to change in the XFL. I think if you challenge a play, bearing in mind you only get one challenge, if you challenge a play and get it correct, I think you should keep the challenge as well. But anyway, 1st and goal for the Guardians. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Stuffed at the line. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1. The Brahmas called timeout. That was funny listening to the play call then. The offensive lineman was trying to trying to adjust the play or something. And the QB, DeAndre Francois, told him to shut the F up and listen to the play call. That was funny. That was funny. So 2nd and goal from the 1 yard line for the Guardians. 13 and a half minutes left for them. They have to score a touchdown here. To stay in the game, they have to score a touchdown. Got it into the end zone. It was pulled back for a holding penalty, but then got a pass interference penalty themselves to set up this opportunity to score. It's a handoff up the middle, but it's stuffed straight away. It's a loss of 3. Oh, dear. Head coach Buckley is going crazy on the sideline. It's a 3rd and goal now for the Guardians. On the 4 yard line. Snap back to Francois. Under pressure, lofts and caught and dives towards the end zone and given the touchdown. And the Guardians are still holding a bit of life in this game. If this touchdown does stand, of course. Seems like we've been down in this region of the field for a long time now. Did he keep his knee up? I think he has. They're going to go for 2 points to make it a 13-point game if they can convert. Trips right for the Guardians. Under pressure. A low throw. Incomplete. That means that they're down 27-12 in the game. So the Brahmas lead 27-12. But the Guardians still have an opportunity. Remember, a 1-score game in this is 9 points now due to the 3 extra points opportunity. If the Guardians can get a turnover or some stops on this next drive quickly, force a 3 and out or get a turnover, we've got an opportunity to go down and score more points. And it's a 1-score game right towards the end, which is, as a neutral in this game, that's what I hope happens. So into the 4th quarter we are. 27-12 to the Brahmas. Do we see the Brahmas holding on? Let us know. Or do you think the Guardians pull off the miraculous comeback against the Brahmas? Do you think the Guardians are able to force a 3 and out or a turnover, something, to get the ball back very quickly, score a touchdown, get some extra points? and give themselves an opportunity to come back and win this game. I mean, personally, from my perspective, too many errors from the Guardians. I think the Brahmas have actually given them a few extra opportunities to score points with penalties and things on that drive. They're going to need a turnover, the Guardians, on defence. If they can force a turnover and score points off of the turnover, they've got a chance in this game. Otherwise, you can see the Brahmas riding this game out. Again, if you are new to the XFL, it's the first game you've watched perhaps, make sure you check out our first video on the XFL we released last week. As a look at all the teams, everything you need to know about the teams and the new rules of the XFL, explained in just under 5 minutes as well. So make sure you check that video out on our channel. And also make sure you check out this week's video where we review the first and a bit weeks of the XFL, give our thoughts and also give our power rankings of the 8 teams in the XFL as well. So check that one out and let us know your thoughts. So here we go, the kickoff is up. Return the ball from 50. It's fumbled, it's bobbled, it's picked up, but then brought down around the 23-yard line. So Brown bobbled the ball, and that would have been a fantastic opportunity for the Guardians to get back into it if they'd have gotten to him, but they didn't. The Brahmas have the ball. The Guardians need a turnover or a quick 3 and out if they're going to get back into it. Shotgun formation for Cohen on his own 22-yard line. Snap back to him. It's a handoff up the middle. Stopped after just 2 yards. Second and 8 for their own 24-yard line for the Brahmas. Snap back to Cohen. It's a handoff again to Balaj. Only gains a few yards again. It's going to be 3rd down. Can the Guardians get off the field? Clock ticking, just under 12 minutes left. Plenty of time for the Guardians if they can get off the field on this play. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Can they force the 3 and out, get the ball back quickly? Shotgun formation for Cohen. It's going to be trips left now. No, it's not. They're going to change the formation. It's going to be tight formation. Cohen lofts the ball out of bounds. And what a great stand for the Guardians. It's going to be 4th and 3 now. And the Brahmas are going to have to punt. So 4th and 3. The Brahmas are going to punt. The punt is up. A good punt again. Returnable from the 15-yard line. Brought down at the 25-yard line of the Guardians, which is where they'll start. May I assume that Francois, the QB3, will be coming out again for the Guardians. Did well, drove them down the field, scored the touchdown on the last drive. It is Francois. It'll be interesting to see how much of Paxton Lynch we see in the remainder of this XFL season. If Francois can finish this game strongly. Trips right, tight formation. Snap back to Francois. Under pressure. Flicks the ball out to his running back. Did very well. Who gets back to the line of scrimmage. Should have been a 5-yard loss on the sack, but as he's getting hit, flips the ball out to the running back, who works his way back to the line of scrimmage. There's a Brahmas defender down. A linebacker, Delonte Scott, sorry. Which takes us into a game break. So we've got potential in this game if the Guardians can go up the field and score a touchdown on this drive. We've got the potential for a tight finish in this one. Even if they scored a touchdown and were unable to score any extra points, that still leaves it a 9-point game, which would still be, in XFL rules, a 1-score game. Bear in mind, score a touchdown and a 3-point conversion. We're yet to have, of course, a overtime game in the XFL so far. Could we get one in this one? It's going to require a lot from this Orlando Guardians team, but the defense stepped up. Can this offense back it up with some another drive to go down the field and score a touchdown? We'll have to wait and see. From a neutral's perspective, hopefully so. You know, we want entertaining games. If we're going to keep this XFL alive this season and in the future, what we need is entertainment. And 4 out of 6 of the games so far in the XFL have definitely provided that. So hopefully this one can as well. So let's know your thoughts on this game. Do you think the Guardians have got a chance at coming back in this game, or do you think the Brahmas comfortably see this one out? Let us know in the comments. So going to be 2nd and 10 for the Guardians. They're on their own 25-yard line. Snap back to Francois. Dumps off to the running back. Got a lot of work to do. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a 3rd and 10 now. So 3rd and 10 now for the Guardians. Snap back to Francois. Time to throw. Oh, it should have been intercepted as well. But broken up, falls incomplete. Which means the Guardians are going to probably have to punt here on 4th and 10. They are lined up to go for it from their own 25-yard line. They go for it. Loft down the left sideline. It's intercepted. And it's going to be returnable from the 50 to the 40 to the 30. It steps out of bounds around the 20-yard line. A questionable decision. Why did the Guardians go for it there? I don't know why Guardian, you've got plenty of time. Still 9 minutes left in the game. But now the Brahmas set up nicely for the 21-yard line of the Guardians. It's a handoff up the middle. Brought down after a 4-yard gain. Second and 5 now for the Brahmas inside the red zone. There's a handoff again up the middle. Barrels forward. Looks like he's gained 3 to 4 yards, 3.5 yards maybe. He's going to set up a 3rd and short. It's a 3rd and a long one. It's a handoff up the middle again. And fights forward, just gets the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Brahmas. Just outside the 10-yard line. It's a handoff again. Bounces out to the left. Fights forward 3 to 4 yards. It's going to take a turnover from the Guardians to get back into this now. Clock ticking under 6.5 minutes. Need a big turnover. So Brahmas on the 7-yard line. 2nd and 6. Handoff again up the middle, but stuff for a 2-yard loss. Great stand by the Guardians' defensive line. So 3rd and 8. Can the Brahmas seal it here? 3rd and 8 from the 9-yard line. Snap back to Cohen. He's under pressure. Scrambles around and goes down for a big sack on the play. It's going to be a 4th down. Must be a field goal attempt from here as well. A good stand from the Guardians defense. And what that does is even if the Brahmas do kick this through, it makes it an 18-point game. It does still keep it, crazily enough, at a 2-score game. So here we go. 40-yard field goal just inside the left upright. And the Brahmas lead 30-12. And the Guardians now in desperation time. So just under 5 minutes left. So 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. The Brahmas lead 30-12. And the Guardians have to score a touchdown on this drive and a 3-point conversion. And then complete a 4th and 15. And score a touchdown. And score a 3-point conversion in order just to tie this game before the end of the game. A lot to ask for, but we'll see if it can happen. So the kick is up. It was interesting because the ball was going into the end zone then. And the Guardians returner caught it anyway. He should have let it bounce into the end zone. They had the ball on the 35-yard line. But we've got, interesting, we've got Paxton Lynch coming back in at quarterback. An interesting decision. Snap back to Lynch. Thrown into the feet of his receiver. It's going to be 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10. Snap back to Lynch. Time to throw. Throws over the middle. Managed to gain 7 to 8 yards on 2nd down. It's going to be 3rd and short. Clock's ticking under 4 minutes left. Snap back to Lynch. It's a handoff up the middle. Dives forward. It looks like he's got enough for a 1st down. Clock will continue to run. We're at 3.5 minutes now. The Guardians need to speed this up. We've got to score a touchdown, 3-point conversion. And we'll see where we are at that point. Snap back to Lynch. Short pass, but dropped. Head coach Buckley wearing his emotions on his sleeve. I can't believe what he's seeing. 2nd and 10 now. Snap back to Lynch. Under pressure, scrambles out to his right. Lost downfield, it's incomplete. Sets up a 3rd and 10 for the Guardians now. So 3rd and 10. Snap back to Lynch. Throws over the middle, only for a 3-yard gain before being brought down. It's going to be 4th and 7. Clock ticking down now. It's probably going to go to the 2-minute warning as well. And the Guardians fans are not happy to say the least. We're at the 2-minute warning. We're at 4th and 7. If the Guardians cannot convert this, this is game over. So we're at the 2-minute warning. If you haven't already, make sure you check out this week's video where we have a look at the XFL. We review the first week and a half of the XFL and give our power rankings of the 8 teams and who we think and who we believe are going to be the strongest teams in this competition. The link to that is in the comments. It's also in the description as well. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our NFL or XFL content. Of course, if you're new to the XFL, head over to our channel and make sure you click this video. The XFL is back. We break down everything you need to know about the XFL, including all the new rules, in just under 5 minutes. So head over, click on that video, and check that one out. So, of course, we're at game break here. The Guardians in absolute desperation mode now at 4th and 7, deep in their own territory. If they're unable to convert here, the game is pretty much over. Let's see what the Guardians draw up. Snap back to Lynch. Throws the ball, is under pressure, it falls incomplete. And the Brahmas take over from around the 40-yard line of the Guardians, and I think that is it. So 30-12 to the Brahmas. So the Guardians, at their last-ditch attempts, are going to challenge, I assume, whether this was pass interference or holding. Why not? So Dean Blandino is going to look at the ball and see whether it is holding, pass interference. I don't think it is. Yeah, it's a good call. It was a good call. There's no way it was pass interference. So Brahmas, 1st and 10 from the Guardians' 39-yard line. It's a handoff up the middle. Gained about 6 yards on 1st down. I can set up 2nd and 4. Just around a minute and a half left in this game. Hi, Daniel. Thank you for joining us late. Let us know your thoughts on the XFL. So his handoff up the middle. Gains about half a yard. Set up 3rd and short. Clock continues to run. Clock's under a minute now. So 3rd and 3. Another handoff up the middle. It should be a 1st down and more. Managed to gain about 8 yards. And I think the clock is probably going to run out from here for the Brahmas, who are going to advance to 1-1, whereas the Guardians are going to fall to 0-2. It's got to be said, the Guardians are going to have to show some improvement in this competition, or they could quite easily find themselves the basement boys and getting beaten week on week. Just have not, after that first drive of the game where they showed some potential, have not shown anything else on offense in this game. And been, in the second half, dismantled really by the Brahmas. The game has finished. The 30-12 victory for the San Antonio Brahmas. It's got to be said, for the performance in the second half, completely deserve it as well. So congratulations to the Brahmas. Look, could have quite easily found themselves at 2-0 this season as well, had they been able to hold off against the Battlehawks last week. But they're firmly in contention. I mean, I had to say myself that they showed enough against the Battlehawks last week, on defense especially, holding the Battlehawks to just under 65 yards of offense in the first 3 quarters last week, and mixing a good part of run and defense, run and pass offense as well. So there'll be a team to watch, the Brahmas, in that division. I mean, you can see that division being a few teams. Look at the Battlehawks, Brahmas, and Renegades. The Seahawks, the Sea Dragons as well. I mean, the Sea Dragons, I don't see them falling out of it as well. They've got the potential Sea Dragons. They've blown a couple of late leads as well. But you've got to be said, on tonight's performance, the Brahmas completely deserve it. If you joined us, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Make sure you check out our latest video reviewing the XFL. The link to that is in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on the XFL, of course, in the video. And if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our XFL or future NFL content as well. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you in the live streams next week.